Containers are a very simple yet powerful tool to structure your arrangement. When you start a new arrangement from scratch, you probably put all the phrases in the root container first. The root container is the thing just below the timeline. The phrases in it keep repeating, which is a good way to find out which phrases go well together. However, at some point you will want to introduce a change or start a new section. While it is possible to append phrase after phrase, you should not do that to start a new section. Always use a container and keep phrases short. The main purpose of containers is to divide your arrangement into sections or parts. Containers in Cinefire Sparks are always kept in a row. This makes it easy to resize them. If you want this behavior in Cinefire Express or Pro, just tick this box. Inside a section or part, containers are used to introduce a change. Place a container anywhere you want to add or replace something. You can place it at the end, in the middle or at the beginning. It can also be very short, which is great for fills and variations. Remember, if you want to introduce a change in the middle of something, do it with a container. Make an alias to replay a container at any other location. An alias may be longer or shorter than its original. The phrases inside an alias cannot be edited. You can, however, deactivate individual phrases. Another way to alter an alias is to add a container below and selectively replace any phrases or parameters. With a container you can move parameters to any location and let them take effect for any duration. For example, you can turn the end of a verse into a bridge with only 2 chords. Another way to try different scenarios is to deactivate containers. An inactive container has no more influence on the output. That's great for A/B testing. Containers can also be used for mixing. You can use the pause parameters in a parent container to mute instruments in all its children. Place a container with pause parameters if you want to mute instruments only temporarily. The container structure is a tree turned upside down. With the root container at the top, its stems and branches extend towards the bottom. Graphics layout is sorted out automatically depending on the position of each container. Move one or more containers with the arrow keys. Hold down Shift or zoom closer to use a finer grid. On the parameter inspector, you can rename a container, assign it a color and set its length and position with maximum precision. A child container overrides the parameters of its parent. The container that comes next always overrides the one that came before. Where two containers start at the same time, the lower container overrides the one above it. You can change this order with the up and down arrow keys. Select a parent container and mark a span on the timeline that you want to insert. Make room moves child containers to the right. If you want to remove a span from the timeline, it works exactly the same. Close gap moves child containers to the left. If you started working in the root container, you may at some point want to move all phrases in a child container. First select all phrases you want to collect. Then pack them into a new container. Moving phrases and parameters among containers is easy. Grab an instrument and drag the phrase to another container to move or copy it. Grab a parameter and drag it to another container to move or copy that single parameter only. Alternatively, you can use the keyboard commands, copy and paste. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you for watching.